Coming up on Look Today, well, Election Day is finally here tomorrow. Assemblywoman Kerry Werner reflects on her campaign. I've got details. And the Fort Ann food drive is a great success. More on that coming up. And Lake George School District is undergoing a selection process for its new superintendent. I've got details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Madeline Petraglia. She's a coordinator of district advancement for the Ballston Spa School District. She's here to talk about the school's annual penny harvest to collect spare change to be donated to different local charities. And I also sit down with Joanne Monroe. She's a costume designer for the Glens Falls Community Theater's production of Spamalot. And we're joined by Dan Slavin. He's playing the role of Sir Lancelot. They're here to talk about the upcoming production of the musical adaptation of Monty Python's Holy Grail. Great interview. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, well, believe it or not, Election Day is tomorrow, and local candidates are preparing themselves for decision time. The difference between the national elections and our local campaigns is significant. If anything, on a local level, it is proven that democracy still exists. We have seen a variety of different candidates representing our region from very different backgrounds. Well, today we spoke to incumbent Assemblywoman Kerry Werner.
And to know how many people are supporting me and giving their time and their resources to making this happen is just really gratifying, because this is a people-powered campaign, and I think that it shows with the breadth of support that we have.
Now, tomorrow we will have extensive coverage of the election when we talk to the local candidates in our districts. In other news, well, initiated by Supervisor Richard Moore, the Fort Ann food drive was held at the Fort Ann Central School this past week. The event was a huge success with over 1,000 food items collected. Now, the collected food will be donated to local food banks and soup kitchens. We spoke to Richard Moore about the drive.
I'll tell you, it's been really exciting, to say the least. This effort was really a group effort by a bunch of the people in the town. The school really came through big time for this program. The name of the program is Fort Ann Helping Fort Ann, and that's exactly what the program is all about. It's to help the people in the community that need this help.
Boy, did the community come through. Now, the food will be distributed at the Cornerstone Bible Church on Route 16 in Fort Ann on Wednesday. We spoke to Richard about this.
We're going to be giving the food out on this coming Wednesday at the Cornerstone Bible Church on Route 16 between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m. And we're looking forward to have everybody who would like to, who has a need for some food, to please come forward and let us help you with your Thanksgiving.
Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw sunshine and brisk weather with temperatures in the mid to high 40s. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Back to the news. Well, the Lake George School District is down to two choices for who the next superintendent will be. The choices are Maureen Long, who is currently the Menands Union Free School District Superintendent, and Lynn Rutnick. She's Director of Special Education K-12 for the Niskayuna School District. Now, the superintendent application process is multi-layered. We spoke to Jim Dexter. He's a District Superintendent of Schools.
There's really three elements in any superintendent search that are really important. The first is, are they qualified to do the job? A lot of that can be determined based on background, training, those types of things. But the two other elements are really critical and they're unique to each district. So the second element is, does the person have the experiences that that board and that community needs for the superintendent? And then the last element is fit. Do they have the right fit for the community?
Now, we will follow up on this story when the decision is made, and we'll talk to the new superintendent of the Lake George School District. Well, coming up, I sit down with Madeline Petraglia. She's a coordinator of district advancement for the Ballston Spa School District. She's here to talk about the school's annual penny harvest to collect spare change to be donated to different local charities. Plus, I also sit down with Joanne Monroe. She's a costume designer for the Glens Falls Community Theater's production of Spamalot. We're joined by Dan Slavin. He's playing the role of Sir Lancelot. They're here to talk about the upcoming production of the musical adaptation of Monty Python's famous film, The Holy Grail. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Hey, on Mondays, I'm going to do something called Look Ahead. We're so clever here with the word look, right? But we have so many interesting things happening during the week. We thought on Mondays we'd let you know about some of them. Obviously, we'll have extensive election coverage tomorrow, including interviews with a lot of the candidates. Later on in the week, we'll be covering the economic summit that's happening right here in Saratoga Springs. And we also have a wonderful interview with the Adirondack Health Institute. Some of the interviews you might look forward to are Marty Vonix. He is the president of the Saratoga Partnership for Prosperity, the people behind that economic summit. We're also going to have the new owners of Garnet Hill Lodge in for an interview, the country music artist Robert Ruark, and at the end of the week, Elizabeth Sobel, who is the new president and CEO of SPAC. So there are some of the things that you can look ahead to. As for the second lookout, I'm going to make a departure. I've said many times that we do not endorse any political candidate. Personally, I've come to know, respect, and support candidates from all political parties here in the North Country. But I also have the experience of being in the media world for almost 4 decades. Not liberal media, not right-wing media, but media communications. It's old school, but it's true. And I will tell you who I won't vote for: Trump. Trump is a master manipulator. I lived in the city for almost 2 decades and worked in the media world. I saw him in action, always seeking the spotlight, gaming the system. And you know, throughout history, there have been people who prey on others' anger and fear. They rally people around hate, and they feed off the celebrity, constantly playing to the crowd for maximum personal gratification. This kind of demagoguery, in my opinion, has no place in our democracy. And I'm not saying this to convince any diehards on either side, but rather independents like me who are truly disappointed in our political system. Now, you don't like Hillary or Williams or Stein, I totally get it. Republican Governor John Kasich, truly qualified to be president, wrote in John McCain's name in the ballot, another great American. I also believe, like many people, that a business person would shake things up in Washington. And there is such a person who lives in New York City. His name is Michael Bloomberg. He is a highly respected, true billionaire. He's the 8th wealthiest person in the world. And at the peak of his success, he decided to give back and be the mayor of New York City for 3 consecutive terms. Now, unfortunately, he decided not to run for president. However, when asked about Trump, who he knows personally, he looked straight into the camera and said it best: Trump is a con artist. Well, good luck, everyone. Tonight on Look TV, it's the 21st District Congressional Debate. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.